I am a congresswoman, but I am uninsured. One day, I just felt like a train hit me. I tested for COVID. I was having difficulty breathing. Then it started to get worse. This went on for 2 months. The Black community and our Brown community has been hit the hardest. We're being infected more and dying more because of COVID-19. But a lot of people I'm hearing from are saying they just don't want to take the vaccine. I want to keep myself safe, my family, my loved ones, my staff, and everyone around me, my community safe. My thought process was I want to take the vaccination. I was apprehensive just not having enough information, and I wanted to be able to show people the kind of conversation that you can have with your healthcare provider. Hello, I'm Congresswoman Cori Bush, and I represent Missouri's 1st Congressional District. It's in St. Louis. I'm a registered nurse, community activist, organizer, single mother, and an ordained pastor for the people of St. Louis. This conversation today is with none other than the amazing Dr. Jones. And I have a few questions to ask you just so that I can have a better understanding, other people watching can have a better understanding, and our communities members who have to make this decision will have a better understanding.
Well, thank you, Representative Bush, for even engaging in this conversation. As you say, this is a really important conversation for all of our communities.
Dr. Jones, for those that don't know you, please tell us about yourself.
So I'm Kamara Phyllis Jones, MD, MPH, PhD. I am a family physician, epidemiologist, anti-racism activist, and a past president of the American Public Health Association.
So firstly, it's really important to address the elephant in the room, which is the reluctance of many Black people like me to even get the COVID-19 vaccine. What would you say are some of the biggest concerns Black people in particular have about COVID-19 vaccine at this point?
The biggest issue is that this government has never shown itself to be about the health and well-being of Black people. I mean, honestly, even if we don't know the names like Dr. J. Marion Sims, the father of gynecology to some, but who used enslaved African-descended women to experiment and to perfect his gynecological surgeries without anesthesia, for example, or the US Public Health Service study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, often known colloquially as the Tuskegee study, but they don't even need to know about the historical things. They might just need to know how they were treated the last time they went and interacted with the healthcare system. So you have this background of disregard, devaluation, dehumanization, and then you want me to take a vaccine? Is it only because you want to get to herd immunity, or is it because you really care about me? So I recognize all of that, but these vaccines are, pardon my French, damn good vaccines. These vaccines offer a lot of protection against a disease that is devastating our community. Nobody should be in the position of trying to convince anybody to take something, but we need to honor people's questions, answer them truthfully, where many of the answers might be, we don't know, or we don't know yet. But I just want to say, so I'm clear and on the record, as a physician, as an epidemiologist, as an anti-racism activist, I have looked closely at these 2 vaccines. I have decided that they are so effective. For me, as a person, I'm going to take it when my turn in line comes, rather than risk dying from COVID-19. We're more exposed. Then when we get it, we're more likely to die. So many things we don't know about the long-term side effects of the virus itself. This pandemic is having such dire effects on our communities that we should seriously consider protecting ourselves in all the ways that are necessary.
What can the medical establishment do to put a stop to a lot of the concerns that we have right now? Because we know that there has been this long history, like you said.
All of that history can't be unwritten right now. What we have to do is make sure that we get the vaccine to those communities that need it most. They're saying nursing homes, but what about prisons? What about detention centers? And they're like, which are also long-term care facilities, right? Or even if you're talking about nursing homes, which nursing homes are going to get it first? We haven't been prioritizing those communities that have been hardest hit. And we can identify those communities. You know, it's not that a community needs to trust, it's that the government and the medical establishment needs to be trustworthy by saying, here's the vaccine, we're going to make sure that you who have been hardest hit get first access to it. Most people don't understand that this virus has one job and one job only, which is to replicate itself. And if there are no controls in place, this virus will spread exponentially. Imagine that there's this big old lake, big old empty lake, and I plant a lily pad in this lake. This lily pad doubles itself every day. So on the day I plant it, on day 1, there's 1 lily pad in the lake. On day 2, there are 2 lily pads. On the next day, day 3, there are 4 lily pads. On the next day, day 4, there are 8. And the next day, 16, and so forth. Here is the riddle. If the lake becomes completely filled with lily pads on day 40, on what day was it only half full? It was half full on day 39. That is what exponential spread looks like.
Are there any things that people should be looking out for or pre-existing conditions that would make you as a provider say, you know what, maybe we should wait on the vaccine for you?
I would say if you're highly allergic, especially if you have had an instance where it became hard for you to breathe or your lips swell up or something, or if you are a person who's so allergic that you carry around an EpiPen, then you need to talk to your provider and you need to talk to the people at the vaccine administration place, at the clinic or wherever you're going to get it, and tell them that you're highly allergic. It doesn't mean that you can't get the vaccine, but it means that they need to be ready and watch you carefully and have you sit there for at least 30 minutes after you get the vaccine so that they can make sure that you don't have any of those allergic side effects. The only real contraindication would be if you had the 1 dose of the vaccine and you had a bad reaction, then probably you shouldn't have the 2nd dose. But all of these other things, the diabetes and all that, these are not reasons you shouldn't get the vaccine. These are more reasons that you should get the vaccine. When they inject you, that fat bubble is going to allow the little snippet of messenger RNA. It is not the virus. It's a little bit of messenger RNA that goes into your cells and uses the machinery of your cells just to produce the spike parts of the virus so that our immune system can recognize the spike and say, oh, there's something really wrong going on here. Let's get prepared. The reason you need 2 doses is we sort of prime the body with the first dose to recognize the spike, and then we boost the body in 3 weeks with the Pfizer vaccine and 4 weeks with Moderna so that we can have a full-on response if we as people ever encounter the real virus and we go into full attack mode and we immobilize it before it makes us sick. We don't know if it's going to stop us from getting enough that we could spread. We do know that these vaccines will stop it so that 94 to 95% of us who get the vaccine will not get sick.
Oh my gosh, that is such perfect information. That is so wonderful. It's definitely good for people to know that they're not getting the virus, because we know that that has been a pushback with other vaccines. Also making sure that people understand the importance of getting that 2nd vaccine. One thing that I've seen as a nurse is we'll get the first in a series. We're told to come back 6 months, or we're told to come back in a year, whatever it is, depending on what you're taking, and then we don't. Are there any negative side effects to the vaccine that people should know?
When they get the vaccine, their arm might get sore, maybe even more sore after the 2nd one than the first, that they might feel a little tired and need to take a nap that day. Rarer is maybe you get fever that you could take, some ibuprofen or aspirin with, or some muscle aches. Those side effects are showing that the vaccine is working, that your body is gearing up in reaction. These are not unexpected side effects, but that's it. After a day or so, you shouldn't have anything.
So as you know, I have not taken the vaccine yet. I have had reservations. You've answered a lot of the questions that I've had, that I've been trying to get from so many places, and you've hit them directly, so thank you. Currently, I am an uninsured congresswoman. I've been uninsured for quite some time now as I was running for this seat. more than a year. I went through what the doctor said at the time was COVID-19. So do I need to take the vaccine? Now, what care do I have as an uninsured person? And that goes for anybody who's uninsured, that would like to take the vaccine.
So the first thing I want to say is that the vaccine is being administered free. And then you've already had COVID. I think they're asking 90 days from when you were sort of clear. Then you can take the vaccine after that. You also have to protect yourself in other ways, like, what's the craziness of those congressmen refusing to wear masks when you guys were all hiding from the insurrection? So the vaccine, I would say, is not the only cure, it's not the only protection, but it's a very important individual protection you could put on. But everybody needs to be wearing their masks still, whether you took the vaccine or not. Everybody needs to be keeping their social distance and the like. People who are in communities where there's a high amount of virus circulating today, like Los Angeles, those should be prioritized in being offered the vaccine.
On our end, as lawmakers, we should be looking at how and working with these companies to find out what can we do to make sure that even when somebody is uninsured and they come to get this vaccination, like you said, that's free. And so maybe that's something that we should be looking at as well. I absolutely appreciate you for all that you are doing. Thank you for helping me to see even my own, what I need to do for myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your work. And I am just so looking forward to seeing what you do as a lawmaker. I am so excited.
Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and get the vaccine. You have given me what I needed, so I'm going to go ahead and get it.